Hello, good evening and welcome. Wednesday has come around so quickly. Apologise for being late. I've been tied up on another call and rushing around to try and get everything plugged in and operating. So hopefully the notification has just gone up in my Facebook group. I'm going to be using more celebrations today, but before I do that, I just want to go through and get down to the table and just remind you that I did put a post up earlier. Today is the last day to get the bargains from the retiring products from the mini catalogue. Okay, I have an order that's going to go through as soon as I finish this live. I did say 8 o'clock, but I will be putting it through as soon as I finish my live tonight. And so today's your last chance. So if there's anything you're looking at getting from here, as of tonight at 10 to 11, it's going to be wiped off. So they won't be available. But in the morning, the catalogues will update and the spring, summer and the celebration will be taking their place. So we will have these two new ones. I'm going to be featuring out of here. I have something kind of planned. You know me, I do tend to wing it a little bit. So tonight's definitely a wing it because I've had some telephone calls that I had to get sorted. So I'm going to be playing with my flip flap is going to be, I'm looking for my note cards and envelopes. Oh look, I had lost a pair of these and I've just turned my case over. Hi Carol. So this is where I keep my note cards and envelopes, and I've just turned them over and found some black cardstock, some alphabets. I don't think I need those, so we'll put those over there, and the other pair of scissors that were escaped me. So I've got some sizes on here. I do need to do a nice, neat copy of this. But it does work for me. It really does work. So there's a piece of white card behind there. So I'll leave that one out. Take out an envelope. We need that. Oh, there's a card in there as well. If that's a blank one, I will use that. There we go. Card and envelope. We're ready. So I'm going to be doing a flip-flap card, but I'm going to be doing it with a note card. Now, the note cards are actually in inches. So they are 5 by 3.5 inches. Now, I've put different figures on here because I do like to do some different layers. So I'm going to do a proper sheet of this and type them out nice and neatly. These are the inch measurements coming down by 1/4 inch, and these are the centimetres coming down by 1/2 centimetre. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. I keep it in my case, so it's acetate, so it kind of like just sits in there. That is actually also the same size as a card. When I'm sketching, hi Linda, yeah, happy new year to you too, my dear. The reason I did an acetate piece was because this is the actual size of the note cards. Now, if you're sketching, as a demonstrator, my head is always playing games with me. So I tend to have a piece of photocopy printer paper and draw around that piece of acetate because it's sturdy and I can just draw around it. So I draw around in pen to get the outlines, and then I'll be sketching on here. So on the piece that's on the, you could get several on a page that way. And some little balloons coming out saying what I intend to do. So that's the reason that's on acetate. So that's just a little gem for you. So to do my flip-flap card, I'm going to bring forward one that's an old one. It's definitely retired, but I pulled it off my sale rail. Just going to bring you in a little bit more. I'm bringing you this one because it was one that I loved a long while ago. Hi Shaz, nice to see you. So I decorate the flaps on the envelopes. So that's the first piece. These papers were blueberry bushel. I want to say blueberry bushel. It's an old set anyway, and an old colour. So I'm just bringing these out. This is my flip flap. There's actually going to be 3 layers inside here. So 1, 2, and 3. Hi Angela as well. Lovely to see you. So this is the I'm going to be doing. I have a purpose for this, and somebody wanted me to show this one. So I said, right, I've got note cards. I will dig one out and I will recreate, but using current product. So not only are we using current product, we're actually going to be using the new products that are coming out tomorrow, the celebration ones. So I have my measurements. From that one it's got to be 2 years, at least 2 years ago those colours were in and disappeared. So my first step of my flip flap, I'm going to put my envelope out of the way. We'll do that last. Don't think they're in the way. I've got gems and dimensionals in front of me. There we go. So I'm going to bring on a piece of card that I did on this one, and it is my layer, my base, my first layer, my flap is going to be 3.5 by 3 1/4, and that is going to be this piece, and we're going to score it down here at 1/2 inch. So trimmer, we have to get the basics in first. If you start with your basics, it's a bit like decorating. If you prepare your surface, then everything fits into place. So that's my piece there. So just to reiterate, that was 3 1/4 by 3 1/2, and I'm going to fold that edge over. I have a bone folder poking out there. Okay, now this is going to seem a bit daft, but what I'm going to be doing here is attaching this inside my card. So for today, I'm going to put tape on here. Whenever I want something adhered right up to the edge, because it's going to be on the edge of my card, I do tend to use the tape. Now you want to be careful you don't go over the fold, but you want to go right up against it. Okay, and that is tear and tape, so you notice I held my nail and I ripped it off across my nail. Just looking for my glasses when I need them. So, in fact I will actually. So this is the flap, and I'm just going to pick at that just to get that off. There we go. And then this edge, where this tape is, we're going to line it up on our mat. Just check you can see me. I'm at that stage, I'm looking over my glasses. I'm kind of in and out of this one. So, and we want to get it level in the middle. So if I get this evenly between two lots of squares, so it's a little bit here and a little bit there. Okay, and then we're going to butt this up all the way to that edge. But we want to make sure we've got like, that's two boxes and 2 boxes. We are fairly good. Look at that. So that's because it's just under, and that's just under. So this edge here, the fold with the sticky on, is going to go right to that edge. Okay, I've peeled off the back of the tape, and that's going to be my flap. Okay, so press on that so it adheres nicely. So it's going to go 1 and 2. Now this one's going to have 1.5 centimetres or 1/2 inch taken off the edge. So I'll take my little trimmer. So 1/2 inch is going to be, that's just on this side of my colour, my dark coloured flap in there. So I know where my distances are, okay, on this little trimmer. So that piece can be used for something else. And we go back to the flap, and then we have a 1, a 2, a 1, a 2, and a 3. Now, the first thing we're going to do is decorate the front piece. We kind of want to know our layers before we start, where we're going to decorate and what we're going to put where. Now, my thinking is I want to put a sentiment on the front and maybe cut out some flowers. So I have, probably the flowers on this one will be good. I've got some purple ones in here as well. I've got here the papers. I haven't got all of them, sorry, but get you off there. I can't show you the inside of the catalogue yet, unfortunately, but I've been working on a little project that I'm going to deliver at one of my new ventures that I've been asked to do, but I need to get photos in the post. So here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think they're all 6 different ones. So we'll go at these ones one at a time. Hi Anne, nice to see you. So this is one of the patterns. These are the favoured, what I put on the heading, I think they were favoured flowers. Say, looking quickly in the catalogue. Yes, favoured flowers. And they do go with a stamp set and dies that I will be ordering tomorrow as soon as they go live. So this is one of the flowers on here, and lots of these images can be fussy cut round. Okay, and then we've got a plainer one on the back. Then this piece here is obviously one I've been using. Multiple patterns on here, multiple colours, and a nice pastel on the back. And they interlock. Look how brilliantly they go together. Beautiful papers. So that's that one. This one, I might use some of this today and use the purple flowers, I think. So this one is lovely. They look nearly like roses in there. And we've got this one on the back. I'll leave that to one side because we'll play with that. And this is kind of one of the similar ones, but in the paler colours, pale papaya. So we have those 2 in there. They go lovely, picking out the colours together. The flowers, I'm going to cut some out by hand. I'll leave those ones over here. They're a little bit bigger, and we've got some smaller ones in here, so I'll probably go with those. Let's see. And then this one on the back, which is picking out some greens. And then last but not least, I've taken a chunk out of there for one of the big flowers. So this one here, some lovely images to fussy cut. There are dies, and when I have the dies ordered tomorrow, I will have the stamps and dies to go with them. So these ones here, the fresh freesias coming through on those ones. Okay, so I'll keep that one out. Get these out of my way, but keep them within eye shot with that one on top, because that might be the one I go to. So to come inside on the back layer, I need to have a piece that's going to cover that. So I'd like to have this one on the inside. So I'm going to be cutting that one for the inside layer. And this one can have a darker purple. There was a darker purple somewhere. Or was that just that one? I think it was that one. So this one's going to have the lighter flowers. This one can have the darker flowers, and then this one can have the darker flowers as well. So that's what we're going to do. This pattern, but use it twice. Okie doke. So I'm going to get my little trimmer out, and I'm going to work at those, best way to cut those sizes. So we've got flap 1. Oh, I haven't measured that one yet. So flap 2, this is going to be this one, and it's going to be in the middle. So I'm going to take a strip off here, the shortest piece I can, which is 2 3/4 this way. You have to just stop and think when you cut your card. Sorry, you're nearly out of my... Bring that back towards me so I don't have to stretch across the table then. So when you're cutting a longer length, so my 4 3/4 will want to come this way. So I'm cutting my shortest length this way, just to try and save wasting too much. And then 4 3/4 won't do on the little one, will it? That's just one of those things. So I'll pop it on here. So 4 3/4. In fact, I'll nip to this one now because I need another 4 3/4. So let's say that this one is going to go on this layer, just there. And then this one's going to be the bigger layer. At the back is going to be 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So 3 1/4. Again, doing the shortest length this way because I can get most of that used by... That's not 3 1/4. 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. Oh, that's 4 3/4. It's there. Okay, so we're going to have this one at the back on here. Then we'll have this one on the front in there. And then we'll have another dark piece on here. So if I just measure that, get you out of there, and I'll see what we need to put in that one. I'm sticking to inches because these are the note cards that are in American sizes and they are in inches. So flap 1, let's write this down, needs to be 1/4 of an inch smaller than that. So I'm going to go 2 1/4, 2.5 inches by 3 1/4. Okay, so I'm sure I can get that piece out of one of these. Oh, I need 2.5. Yes, I have to use one of the other pieces. There we go. So 2.5 by 3 1/4. So we can do the shortest one this way. So 2.5 by 3 1/4. Double check those, that's it. There we go, I think we're there. Okay, once they're stuck down, they're going to make a little bit more sense. We need to decide if we think there's a right and wrong for the papers. One there, and this one comes over, and that's going to be dark on the front there as well. Okie doke. Think they're good? Right, I'm going to get those ones down because the thing we have to hide is this seam on the back here because I've put a little fold under there just to hide it and disguise it. Okay, a little bit of tombow all around the edges. And pop that inside. These are quite dark set of papers. Mixed reviews at the start. I heard some people didn't like them so much. I did, but they weren't the first thing I wanted. and they're growing on me. They really are growing on me. I think that looks upside. I don't know why. There isn't really a right and wrong, but it just feels that that should be the right way. I was thinking I'd done it back to front then. So who's excited about Celebration coming up? So Celebration is our favourite time of the year. There are free products with purchase. So you have a separate little catalogue. I've got a feeling I don't think there was 10 items in there. I'm not 100% sure. But there's items in there that you can choose. Stamps, there's several papers. There's a hostess extra if you have a collect orders from yourself or just spend it all yourself. The tweezers have slits somewhere. Can't survive without them. Where have they gone? Oh well, I'll have to stick it down because it's going to dry on me. There we go. I'll get that one in there. Okay, doke. So those colours just go lovely. Chuffed you managed to wait until now to do your big order. Yes, you are better. The demonstrators, as a bulk, an order going through, there are some little bonuses if you can have a little bit free product credit for the volume that we process through the 2 months. So there's no point. I've bought just the bare minimum that I needed to get for a tutorial share I was doing. So then I save everything till tomorrow. So yes, it'll be a big one tomorrow. So yeah, best to wait if you can. And also I always think over Christmas, then we're all busy, we're all doing things. So it's not like we're going to get a lot of time to free time to play, is it? So if this is my card, I'm just going to bring this piece on, one of the scrap pieces. This is the flap of my envelope. Now we decide whether we'd like the flowers on there or the dark. I think because the dark's on the front, I think I'm going to have to go with this one. Okay, 0.0 seconds to spend 60 quid, easily done. I know. It's £45 for your Celebration, Linda. Just 45. But then you get up to the next one. I have some customers who do 145 this month and then another 45 next month. There's people who'll do it all in one go and get a £90 set because there are a few different sets in there depending on how much you spend. I had to have my owlies. My owlies, my favourites. Okay, so I've just stuck, you notice I put the adhesive onto the flap first and then laid this up to the seam. And then I'm now going to just grab my scissors and just cut around that edge. Bring my glasses down. There we go. And take this down along here. Okay, these are quite easy to cut round. This long strip here will actually go on the edge of an envelope, probably down the front. So I might keep that piece. Okay, so just cutting along that edge. Nice way to decorate envelopes. I just happened to have that piece there and I thought if I don't stick it now I will forget to do the envelopes as I invariably do. At the end of the live I'll switch the camera off and then think, oh, I didn't do. So there's my envelope ready done. So I'll stick that one up there. Okay, and then this one, if I grab that guillotine, this little scrap here, pop it in the little slidey piece there, as far as I can. No, on the nearest one, there. Just going to the narrowest piece of the strip. I should do. Guillotine down there. I think I've still not got it. No, I'm trying to be too... There's a little bit of a duke in there. So we'll leave that one for now. We've decorated the back, so that's good. I'm happy. I don't like this mat. Okay, so there's the basis of my card. Now we're going to do some fussy cutting. Now, we won't get lots of the big images on here. These are more, I'd use these on standard cards. But we've got some nice flowers in here. The back one, because it's more plain, you can write your message on the inside of the card. So I'm going to use one of these pieces, and I think I might use that one because I want to showcase the fact that when you get whole images, you can cut out easily. When you get the partial pieces, a lot of people would think, I can't use those, but they're definitely usable. I'm going to trim around there, put them to one side again, and I'm going to quickly cut this one out for you, just to show you the versatility of these papers. When I get my dies, they have got, some of the dies will cut these papers, but until now, until tomorrow, they will be on my first order. So just fussy cutting, you've seen me fussy cut quite a bit. These leaves have got some nice shaping to them. I do like the little black edge on them. So I'm starting to think that I tend to do a lot of fussy cutting on my lives. And just come around here quickly. But tonight's was really to show you that these ones, you've got some lovely pieces around the edges, and it goes with any of the papers, Stampin' Up! Do several that have die cuts with them. And the die cuts are great, and they're a big time saver. However, you can lose quite a bit of it if you don't use the edges. The other way to do it is to layer up. So if you've got a big image on there and you want to make them bigger, then you could actually just tuck this under, so this part is coming out the side. But you won't see there's a straight edge under there because it's all hidden. Okay. You're calling it fuzzy cut, Linda. I think it's really funny. It's fussy, as in with S's, as in because it's a bit fussy. It's fuzzy is like something that's a bit woolly. I just think it's funny every time I see you put that. But yes, it is very therapeutic. It's something you can do, like I said before, on holiday. If you take a load of images that need fussy cutting, just have them stamped. Take your pencils, watercolor pencils and a brush, and you can even colour them in and do some pieces on holiday, then cut them out. So I could put this on here, okay, and then leave this one for the sentiment. This could also go on the bottom, except it won't go there. So I think I'm going to put that in the centre. Put it north of centre and put it up there. So because it's the inside of a card, I am going to pop that on flat. Let's get that started. So tomorrow we have a launch party. Now there are an awful no, you're not. Don't be sorry, Linda. I just so you know, because if you don't know, you don't know. So it just makes me laugh every time makes me smile every time I see it. So this is just stuck on there flat because it's going to be on the inside of a card, and overall we will want that to be flat. I'm going to think about the middle layer here. When I did them before, this is, like I say, this was an old one, could have a little embellishment on there and a sentiment inside. Now for today, my sentiment, oh, my little baby machine's over there. The sentiment, because I haven't got the set that goes with this yet, it will be coming. I'm going to put something out of this set, the Charming Sentiments. The reason being, there are dies for this. So everything you see actually has a die that goes with it as well. So that one's going to come off there. Just pop that back. I will decide which one I'm going to do, and then all the stamps under here are available to die cut. So we need to make a decision on what we'd like. I'm going to leave that on the screen there. Hi, Cindy. Happy afternoon. Yes, you're obviously overseas, Cindy. We're 9:30 at night now, so it's lovely. I have people on here from all three continents. So we have Australians on here sometimes, and then the Americans, and then Europe as well. So I'll leave this here, and you can put some comments on here as to what you think could go on this card. I'd like to have maybe a small one on the front, say something like one of these little ones, like Just For You. And then we want a different one on the inside here, which could be one of the bigger greetings. So I leave you to put some comments right on there which one you'd like, and I'll just get my machine. Big wodge of plates there. Okay. And just one more. Oh no, down on the table. Don't know what colour I need, so I'm just going to get both of them. This one on here. So I have got the Blackberry Bliss, the Fresh Freesia, and the Mossy Meadow. because I'm thinking that there's quite a lot of white on here. I don't really want to have a white piece. So I might take a scrap out of here and mat it with a piece of this one here. Depending on which greeting we choose. They are absolutely gorgeous papers, Cindy. The Charming Sentiments is from the annual catalogue, Linda. It's been around a little while. I've had that a while. Hi, Jan. Nice to see you. Those papers are divine. They are quite dark, but when you actually get them in real life, when you see them in the catalogue, you might think twice and think they are kind of dark. Some of the other ones I've been using seem to be more favourites, but I love them. So just looking to see if we've got. I'm going to use what colour shall I use? I've got some inks on the table, but I'm going to go with black, I think, because we've got black in the papers. Hi, Anne. Everything will be okay on the front. Everything. You think all the greetings on the front here. I'm going to try and put one of the smaller flowers. I'm going to cut one of these out to put on there as an embellishment. But I'll do it round the greeting. Can I still get those sent? Yes, you can get those, Linda. The annual catalogue's here till the end of April. I think the new one starts May. Any ideas for sentiment? What shall we go with? How about the Just For You on the front here with the flower, and then on the inside here to put wishing you everything wonderful. So just for you, wishing you everything wonderful. Or you said everything will be okay on the front. You like that one? Everything will be okay? Let's have a look. Didn't realise there was one with those words. This one's got to go over there. Looks like this sort of shape. Yeah, let's have a look at that one. Oh, we need a bigger piece of that. We're going to lose the top of it if not. So these are photopolymer, so I'm going to grab my mat because you get a better image on here. And I have a piece of photocopy paper here. The reason being, I like to stamp them off first because this one hasn't been used yet. So I will just stamp that one a few times. I recorded a video, you know, and for tomorrow, they're all set ahead of time. And I realised I went tap, 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 and the camera was going jiggle, jiggle, jiggle when I listened to it back. And I thought I can't re-record it just for that one piece. So when you see mine tomorrow, it's got a jiggle, jiggle. So I think it's going to be good. So let's get this inked up. I'll just press gently on there. I'm actually going to turn it this way on. Turn it over. This side's a bit rough. I think that's been through, when this was cut, I think it's been through the plates where the plates have cut into it. So this is the smooth side. There we go, we'll have that as one of them. I think I'm still going to stick to mine. I think I'm going to put that on the inside because it's going to be a bit big to go on here. We'll cut it out first and see how we go. Move those out of the way. And let the stamps go. Just put them out of the way. Oh dear, one of those weeks. Did anybody else think that this last week since Christmas has gone really, really quickly? It's crazy busy. And I still have got my tax return to do. I think it's going to be that one. It's a case of checking by the shape. That's going to do that one. So bring my little machine over. Got the base plate, a scrappy one, a piece I want to cut, and some tape. Haha, don't disappear. So I use a Scotch tape, as you know, so just take a piece of that. And get that all lined up. These are really nice. Those people who don't like fussy cutting, you know I like fussy cutting, but it's quite handy to have dies for every single sentiment you saw on there. There is a die for it. Okay. Those that was with me on Sunday, this is starting to bow. This is getting near the end of its lifespan. So, but it's perfectly okay. Take that one off there. Push it away and save my tape for the next one. Okay, so there is one image. I'm just going to lay these down. So we're saying about putting that on the front and maybe a flower. So let's cut the flower next and see how we think. Okay, we'll cut around this one. It'll be a quick one to do. Payday 2 weeks ago. Yes, it's been mad. I'm glad you agree. It's not just me. It's just like schools went back today. So that was the school run today, and Maria was at work, and I've been in here kind of a lot of the day, doing a lot online, and it's just don't seem to be getting anywhere. And it's soon going to be. I thought tomorrow was Friday, so I was wishing the week away even faster. I sent a text to one of my friends and said, "Oh yeah, we can chat about it tomorrow." And she said, "I'm seeing you Friday, not tomorrow. Today's Wednesday." So losing total track as to which day of the week it is over Christmas, don't we? So, because the thing is, it's different every year, different day every year, isn't it? And it's a short week, condensed week. Crazy mad. Okay, you can see, because the edges of these, it's really easy to fussy cut these. There's no difficult bits, it's just nice and easy. So try and keep the same amount of black, the same distance. And there's our little piece. You're 21 on Saturday. Now, are you turning the clock back? Is that what you're saying? Oh, Sam, it's Sam. There you go, you like the card. Is that on your agenda for Friday then, Sam? It was Sam that told me that today was Wednesday, not Friday tomorrow. So I'm not really knowing whether I like that or not. I don't like that fresh freesia. I'm just not really thinking, it's not really floating my boat. So I think I'm going to stamp that onto a scrap of white. We had some white here. We did have white. Where do we put the white? There. So I'm going to have this spare piece here. I'm going to just stamp that again because I think it's near, but it's not near enough for me. I'll do all of that again. There we go. And while I'm there, I'm going to take that just for you out as well. That one has been used already. It's already stained. Let's do that there. There we go. We'll clean those later. That will probably work on another card, but it's just not working against that one for me. Let me go back to this. Get rid of that one. Scissors. You want to do this one? Yeah, we can do this one. It's not a problem. This is on a note card, but we can do the same thing as the bigger size as well if you like. So just let me know on Friday. So they're all lined up nicely. Pop that one on there. If I get the just for you die as well. It's a bit big. No, it's definitely not that one. See, when you get all these dies that are silly shapes like this, it's hard to work out which one it is that you need on your particular piece. So it's just looking at the general shape of the die. There we go, and that one's going to go on there. So we just get one wheel turn then. Like the set of flower papers and the die set. Linda, I'm sorry, your budget is going to go out of the roof, I think. The sentiments you can wait for. So I always recommend that you go with what's current at the time that's going to be on, that's going to disappear. So like today, we know that tonight is the last night for the Christmas catalogue, and then the spring summer will start. So while Celebration is only around for 2 months, so then after that you won't be able to get your free with purchase items. So get what you need to just to get those free items that you want, and then the other one you can stagger your spending basically. Okay, so I'm thinking that I'm going to like this one better. I hope I am. A little bit of white on there. Now which way actually we have that? Just on the corner of that flower maybe. Have one flat and one raised. And then this one can go on the inside. Everything will be okay. Again, that will have to go flat. I really wish I knew where my tweezers were hiding. I saw them in the container. I've pinked them through somewhere, I expect. Got so many bits on here. Oh, there you are. Trying to hide from me. So I'll pop this one down flat. The sizes I've done on here, you can adjust. So I've given you, this is the note cards. I love the note cards. I love Stampin' Up! Note cards. So that go just, so it's just overlapping one of the sentiment of the flowers there. But it will still be flat, so it can close nicely. Okay, and they can come over. The note cards are always a staple in my craft room. Always. Dimensionals. This is lucky because we can stick one big one in the middle. There we go, shut those. The flowers are so busy on this one. The other one's just polka dots. Because the flowers are so busy, it does the work for you. So we're going to tuck this one under here somewhere. So maybe I'll put that there and then angle this just underneath slightly somewhere. It's a strange angle really, to know which way up to put it. Put it that way. I think that might look nicer actually. And I think I'm actually going to put him raised as well, just to give it a little bit more dimension. Who else talks to themselves when they're crafting? I know I'm talking to you guys, but do you talk to yourself? I'm definitely guilty of that. But then you know I'm a Gemini and I talk a lot anyway. No nasty comments. Peonies, I don't know. They don't call them peonies. They call them favored flowers. And there's a stamp set and bundle that goes with it. Fragrant Flowers bundle, which is going to be stamps and 2 dies. There's a big hello and there's a big thanks. And I will be ordering those tomorrow as soon as it goes live. They are lovely, and because they will be cut. One of these sets that Stampin' Up! Do where they cut out the actual papers. So those big ones, those big blooms I was talking about, the other half of this one, and there's a couple in there that will cut out. So it's good. So I'm not sure whether I need anything on the middle flap there. We need something else on here, and I have just the thing. So let me just go and get a Blackberry Bliss blend. I'll be back. Blackberry Bliss. So I love this ribbon. It's a white crinkle ribbon. It's Whisper White and it's a crinkled seam binding. So I need that piece of scrap paper back. When you use your blends onto a ribbon to colour, I will go with the dark colour because it will dry lighter than you actually the finished look of it. So when I tie a bow, I tend to allow about 25 centimetres. So I'm going to cut a piece off there at 25. I've measured it against my board. And I'm going to lay this on here. I tend to do it in 2 halves. Now there's a small end, a narrow writing end and a fat brush tip. So I'm going to use the brush tip and I'm going to go along there and just stroke it along. Now, I don't think you've seen me do this recently. Okay, so I've done 3 strokes. You can go over more than if you like, if it hasn't quite caught. Just checking, yeah, it's dark rich raspberry. Dark, what did I just say? Blackberry Bliss. It looks a bit of more pinkier and looks like the raspberry. So I'm going to lay it on here. You can see how much it bleeds through. So this is why I say you must protect your mat, protect your work surface. And it bleeds through. Because it bleeds through, we can make 1 reel of white ribbon here. That ribbon can be any colour that you have. You're a Gemini too. Karen, what date's yours? So 1 roll of white ribbon like this, you can use all the blends. I've not got every single one, but I've got most of them. So this roll can do me any colour I choose. So it's quite economical that way, because you can, if you've got blends, you can colour this. The watermarkers don't do the same, but the Stampin' Blends, they do lovely. So I'm just going to do that a little bit more to make it a bit darker. And it dries fairly quickly as well. 17th. Now on the 2nd. And don't rub it in. I'm as of 2 days ago. Oh, it's less than 18 months now. It's 17 months, I think. Yes. So I'm counting down to a big one. My next big one. So that just needs a few seconds to dry. And I'm just going to show you, when you tie this, when it's brand new, when it's the white state, it's quite soft, okay? And it's quite easy to tie a little bow, pull that through, and there we go. So it's quite flexible, it's nice and soft, and when you pull those ends together, it bites in the middle. It's really good. Can you see a nice little tight bow? Okay, when you do it with the coloured, which I'm now going to do, you tie it with this, it tends to make it a little bit stiffer. So I kind of think that one's a bit bouncy, but this one, it kind of, I don't know, it seems to make it easier to tie. It's a bit crisper. Does that make sense? I don't know why, but it seems to be a little bit more crisp. Okay, so there's my bow tying. Oh, in July, Linda, you beat me. You beat me. Yeah, by just under a year, on the 2nd of June. So, yeah, so 2024. And I'm starting to think of ideas what I'm going to do. I'm not a big part. David and I aren't big. Karen, yours is an O birthday as well, is it? Oh, is this a big year? Are you? Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, you see. Yeah, it is a special one, Anne. Yes. The big O, the next big O. Yeah. So where are we going to put this ribbon? I think I'm just going to put that at the top there. Now the colours on here looks more like raspberry, but it is the darkest of those shades. So I like a little bow. I'm just trying to pull those and make those a little bit smaller. I have 3 big things on there on my list. What have you girls got on your bucket list? And you're this year, not next year. You see, we could have a big party if we were all together, couldn't we? Yeah. Well, I will let you will get to hear what one of my plans is. I've got to speak to somebody first before I can publicly say. So, but there is an idea floating in my mind. My brain works overtime, as many of you know. So mini glue dots are the way to adhere your ribbon. So I'm going to pop that on there, on that little glue dot there. Well, that's better, Shaz. I didn't think you were 21. Wishful thinking. I didn't want to be rude, but I didn't think, I've never met you in person, so I didn't want to be rude, but yeah. Okay, so there's my bow, and I'm going to cut these pieces off here, the tails, wherever you want them. I like to cut them at an angle. And these pieces, as you know, I hang on to. There we go. We will use those. for another project. Try and level them up a bit. One cut better than the other. So they go in my little tray there. I've got some other pieces here, look, that I coloured. There's a black piece, there's a pale blue, there's an old olive. Okay, from projects I was doing at the weekend. So that's those two. And it needs some gems, of course. I think the middle one I'm quite happy because it's so busy. My other one over here wasn't very, very busy. So we're going to put that, we're going to put some gems on there, and I think we're done. Okay, where are we time-wise? 45 minutes. In a punt on the river, Cambridge or Oxford, as well as going to Alhambra Palace. I've been there. We need to chat. We went on a work trip, like a team building, but it was a glorified. We had to take it as holiday, but it was a nice time. We did have a nice time there. Oh, look. Pastel pearls. I feel they need to go on here. Smudge has just heard you, Shaz. She's coming to say hello. She's meowing at the door. These are quite big. I think for a little card, I really want to use them, but I think for a little card, I think they are too big. Silver's too bright. Bless her. She does want to come and appear on camera, doesn't she? So I've got my clear ones here. What we're going to do, I'm going to pick out some of the smaller ones in here. Take my Blackberry Bliss marker. These are the Stamp and Blends again. I'm going to colour some so that they tone in. So I'm not scrubbing them. I'm going over the top and round the sides. Over the top and round the sides. There we go. Some more little ones. Over the top, round the sides. Don't scrub at them because you will ruin your nib. Because that alcohol, they evaporate really, really quickly. Hi, Elizabeth. Our children sent us to Iceland to see Northern Lights. I thought Iceland, the supermarket. Look, Iceland, see the Northern Lights. Wow, that was nice. A garden party, yes, I like that idea. Now, those of you who are on here that are probably not overseas ones, but the UK ones, how many of you would want to have a retreat for a special occasion? Because I'm just planning a different venue that I've found by accident. It's one of my new ventures, one of my retreat venues I use. I do small ones here, but one of my retreat venues actually closed in October. So we've lost that one now. So I've been looking for somewhere else and found somewhere totally by accident. And I said I needed to speak to them afterwards. And it is perfect. So we've got 3 on there, 2 on the front. We need that third one. So I will be having, yeah, it works in my price bracket as well. So it works really well. So I am planning something along the retreats as well coming up very soon. So there's my card. There's my envelope. Okay, so they all coordinate nicely. You see that? Linda, right. So those with big birthdays, there's only a few. You need to come here. I've got 4 spare beds, 5 at a push, because we've got our visitors in one room. But if you want to come and spend a weekend here, we can sort something. Interested in the retreat? Yes, Pam, I'm sure you will be. I've got the link. You've been before. You haven't seen the venue. But yes, we've got good things going on with that. So I've got to firm up some dates with Jackie and then just check availability and I can come out and announce them. Okay, so there's my little card. So it's a little note card. It's got a flip flap. So 1, 2, 3, and you can write your message on either of those. Okay, using those gorgeous papers from the celebration. Okay, I'm going to show you here just a couple of other cards that I was given by one of my friends who came to see me the other day. So she's used the same cards and full-size cards, these ones, not note cards, and it's the pattern paper cut, and she's got a couple of 3 layers on there, and just the papers and stamping, and there's a die in there for those in the set. She's already got that. Absolutely stunning. So these are Rebecca's, and then this one here, this is one of the stamps that's in the set. You've got 2 little words like this, and you've got a hello and a thanks in that same size and font. And this die is in there as well. So I can't wait to get them, but I just wanted to wait to the start of celebration. So they are the papers I've used tonight. So they're Rebecca's samples that she's given me. And then this is my little flip flap for somebody who's requested one of those. Okay, so hope you like those. If you're interested in retreat, then just let me know, drop me a line, or I will pick up the messages from here as well. But you will get to see, I'm going to try and get things out. I need to get my tax return done. Let me get you back to me. Look, take that off. I need to get my tax return done first. It's got to be in by the end of the month. So that's kind of going to take priority from the weekend. Okay, but I will be out to you as soon as I can. Okay, so take care. Remember, celebration starts tomorrow. Mini catalogue starts tomorrow. Last chance is going to be 10 to 11. So I've got to get a scoot on and get these orders through that I've got here. And I will see you all again on